Hi YouTube, thanks for coming to my channel. Please like, comment, subscribe as always. Alright, so I have a few questions that somebody sent me, and anytime you want to need a question you don't feel comfortable writing in the comments, you can always just email me. My email is in my bio, and let's get started. So the first question they asked was, can you upload a video that speaks to your research and decision-making process in regards to moving to the DR versus other countries? And I'm looking at my computer, that's one of the questions that. Alright, so Google was my best friend. Like, I Google everything. I Google things like countries to move to, the safest country to move to, countries for African American to move to. Like, I use that concept of moving in my Google search. Google is going to give you like 10 to 20 different countries that probably like the top places. So what I did was I eliminated any country that was cold, any country that was like potentially surrounded around like I won't say, okay, what I did was I eliminated any country that was cold, any country that was probably 2, 3, 4 flights away. I did not want to fly 16 hours away from the United States. Like, I did not want to do that personally. Maybe in the future, but not right now. And also, I eliminated any country that was not speaking Spanish speaking, like not a Spanish speaking country. I wasn't able to learn it, so that's the reason why this is one of the areas that I picked. Second question, why you chose Las Terrenas over other cities in the country? All right, so if you're a part of any of these Facebook groups, there's like different aspects Facebook groups. The community is so big online, and I'm gonna tell you about these communities online. So the community on the Facebook groups is probably like what persuaded me to move here to Las Terrenas. Again, I never moved here before. I never came to Las Terrenas before. But when you go to these Facebook groups, there's only select cities that they mention: Punta Cana, Santo Domingo, Puerto Plata, Sosua, I think it's Carburetor, I believe that's the name of it, and Las Terrenas. So in those groups, a lot of people was pushing Las Terrenas, and I'm the kind of person, I'm like, well, there's a reason why these people was talking about Las Terrenas. So I was like, well, let me go and see if this the place. If it's not the place for me, then I can always move. So that's the reason why I picked Las Terrenas, because those Facebook groups, I would listen to people comments and people telling like why they moved to certain places, and Las Terrenas was one of the top places that everybody said to move to. I don't want this video to be too long, so let me see. The next question, she said, how you find your apartment? So I found my apartment through a YouTuber named Kelly. She had so Kelly and Nicole was the two people that helped me find my place. Kelly is no longer on the island, but I think she still have her business. Nicole also have a business too, but I found them my place through them. However, you can find it by yourself, and I recommend you find it by yourself if you don't need assistance. Like, if you feel like you need assistance and you want somebody to like go through the process with you, then I recommend Nicole, so she's still on the island. But if you don't need assistance and you feel like you can find it by yourself, I recommend you to do it by yourself. This way you do not have to pay a finder's fee. Sometimes most of these people, they charge you a finder's fee, which is included in your rent, but you got to pay the finder's fee every month, basically the duration of your lease. So if you have a 6-month lease, you'll be paying a $50 finder's fee every month, and I don't like that. Don't make sense to me, because I feel like I understand the first time finder's fee, but not every month type of thing. But again, you can find your own apartment on Facebook. You go to these Dominican Republic expat Facebook groups, and you can find your own apartment. You could just list on there and say, hey, I'm moving to the island on these dates. This is what I'm looking for, and watch. There's gonna be 5, 6, 7 people writing you, sending you pictures, sending you videos of their apartment that they want to rent. But if you're not gonna move here right away and you just want to visit, I recommend you do Airbnb. Do Airbnb. Come to the area. When you walk around, you're gonna see signs for apartments for rent and for sale. You can easily like call them up while you're here and do tours, or find a place there. But I would recommend just find your own place through Facebook. This way you don't have to pay nobody no finder's fee. And again, that was, I didn't use no website, so you could just go through Facebook if you don't want to go through a third party. My apartment is $500, and my overall monthly cost. So overall, I don't have like a breakdown. You know, I don't be knowing no numbers. I'll be like guesstimating. All right, so my rent is $500. Let me see if I got my I'm looking for my electric bill to show you. Un momento. Here we go. Alright, so this is my electric bill. So this is how the electric bill looks like. The entire thing is in Spanish, but you will get the concept. You just know, as long as you see how much you owe, you know, okay, you get it. So this one is 1,200 pesos, and that's around like $25. So for me, only thing can't talk. All right, so my apartment is $500 a month. It includes the water, the Wi-Fi, and cable. That's included. Only thing I'm responsible for is my electric bill and my rent. My electric bill again is 1,200 pesos for this month. However, there's been times where it's been more. I haven't had any time where my bill was like 2,000 pesos. No, it would probably be like around 1,200 to 1,800 pesos a month. And then besides that, I just pay for food. And again, my food, I probably pay, give and take, probably like $40 to $80 every 2 weeks. So I'm gonna just round it up to 100. So $100 for food, $500 for my rent, and let's just say $40 for electric. So that's $640. And that's not including going out to no restaurants or doing an excursion. That's just living expenses and going to the grocery store. The next question she said was, what do you do for health insurance? All right, so I am a veteran. Sorry for the noise. They have like a baseball game. So I am a veteran, and I go to the VA. So anytime I go back home to Florida, I make my appointments. Cause I know, all right, I'm like, all right, I'm about to go home in May. So I can call up the VA and say, hey, I need an appointment. So I go and make my appointment around the time I go back to the States. And that's the same for Ava. Ava's dad is still in the military. She's under his TRICARE. So we make appointments based on when we go back home. We do not have residency. So some people have like foreigner, like permanent foreigner residency. I think that's like the title of it. But we don't do that. And if you do want to start that process, you could start it in your home country. They recommend you start in your home country. Just go to like some type of attorney, or I think it's the embassy. Don't get me lying, but they recommend you start in your home country. I will get the information. I'm gonna put it in the description, and I will, not description, but I will put it in the comments, and I will pin it so y'all have it. What are some advice for saving up and not working, leaving the States? All right, so if you're gonna be coming here and not working, or any country and not working, I recommend you save up 6 months of your current rent in the U.S., which meaning, just say, if your rent is $1,200 a month, you save up 6 months of that $1,200 a month, and then you live here of half of that. So if your rent in the States is $1,200, your rent here should be no more than $600 a month. Like, that's what I would recommend. Or like, so if you get something that's $400 or $500 a month, that's, yeah. Because this way, it's like, this way you're able to cover your rent, and you know you can be able to at least live here for a year without working. Oh shoot, thank you for shut up. I don't care if your rent is $1,000 a month. Back in the States, you need to be saving at least 6 months of rent, and when you move here, your rent need to be half of what you're paying back home. This way you're able to at least assure you can stay here for 6 months to a year. And if you're able to save up more than that, then that's good, because then you could count in for food and excursions and all this other, you know, good reasons you move to the island. Like, you want to, you know, experience the island life. So you want to maybe experience all that. And then you said, I'm in the process of moving to the DR, but have ran into a couple snacks. What are some snacks that that you ran into? So if anybody, this is not just for this person here, but anybody, if you ran into some snacks, let me know, like, what type of snacks do you ran into? But all the information, if I don't know information, I would definitely find out and then let you guys know. I am not that type of person. I'm not greedy or nothing like that. Like, all this information, free information. So you know how some people be trying to hold on information? I'm not like that. Come on, I recommend anybody to come. Alright, so that was really it. She went on my process. My process, I started off from Google. I went from Google to eliminate in places based off my preference, and I did my research based off the views off of the Facebook groups and YouTube videos. That's how I kind of eliminated. And I picked Las Terrenas based off that seemed like the most popular one. I found my places through Kelly and Nicole, but you can find places through Facebook, which is what I recommend. Apartment, you already know how much my apartment is. I'm just trying to go over. All right, and one more thing I want to talk to you guys about is that before we came here, we went to Merida, Mexico for the weekend to see if there was a place that we wanted to move to. And what I learned through that process is that sometimes with these Facebook groups and these YouTube videos, they might seem like it's the perfect place, like since sliced bread. Like, it might seem like it's so amazing, but this you gotta realize. That's why I recommend people come and visit first before. Don't do what I did. What I recommend is, like, cause this the thing. Sometimes I don't know. It's like the expectation is so high, or the people oversold it. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if sometimes it's like YouTubers and these people in these Facebook groups oversold the town, or they were talking about it so much that my expectation was so high. And that's how I felt in Mexico, and a little bit how I feel sometimes in Las Terrenas sometimes. But you do have to think about this. It's based off everybody like your own experience. Like, my experience is gonna be different from somebody else's experience. Again, like, my experience here is not the same for somebody who's single by themselves. Cause then you go, you know, you out here partying, you can do whatever you want. But when you got a child, you like, you know, you move different, just like in the States. So take into account for that. Like, I feel like if you like, you know, if you like to go boating and go hiking, follow people that do the same thing, so you know from their experience whether you be interested in that or not in that country. But yeah, that's the only thing about, like, just that's the one thing about just taking the perspective of a YouTuber. And yes, these YouTubers are, some of them are amazing, but sometimes they can be overselling stuff, and they need to bring it back to reality, because realistically it might not be what you expect it to be. That is really it. Hope I answered your question. Thanks again for writing that comment, because some people probably had the same questions. But in regards to healthcare, I'm gonna put in the comment, and I'm gonna pin it, some places that a healthcare place that some people mentioned, so you can have that information. Just do some research on that. But again, I just go back to the States. When I go back to the States, that's when I go to my doctor. That is really it. Hope you guys enjoy. Bye bye.